You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. You've got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend in me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 59 of the Secondary Heroes podcast. This week, we're talking about sidekicks. What counts as a sidekick? Are they secondary heroes? Who are the best sidekicks? I have no idea. This is your host, Trevor, and joining me as usual is...
Hey, guys, this is Prague.
This is Josh.
And this is DeLorean Wolfgang. I didn't have anything fun this week.
I know, I was waiting for it.
What a letdown right off the start.
Hey, you know what? You guys
changed up the song. We kept the original lyrics.
I know.
You didn't even change that up. Yeah, that's because right once we put the microphones in front of our face, we start recording. We don't even think about it. We just get right at it. We don't even do pre-planning. We're jumping in. We didn't sit here for the
definitely
past
did
hour.
play pre-planning.
We're recording tonight.
To go.
The strategy of the secondary heroes.
This is how we
coming
play.
at you a day late, friends.
A day late, but it makes sense, right? It's a secondary podcast, so a day late makes sense for us. We're on brand tonight, ladies and
Hey, we're
gentlemen.
allowed to be late every now and again.
Yeah, not to be late. But I think this is going to be a fun topic because it's really on brand for us because it is about secondary heroes, sidekicks. Are they secondary heroes, like you said? I don't know. I think we're going to talk about that tonight. And what maybe there's a difference between what a sidekick is versus a true secondary hero, and what sidekicks do to help their the lead person. So it'll be fun.
And can a sidekick become a hero?
Have they? We can actually explore that too. So some that have become the hero.
Yeah, I like that.
I think this will be an interesting discussion tonight. So
I think so too. Ooh,
Yeah.
Buckle your chin straps there, sports fans. We're getting into this one.
We'll dive right into it.
So we'll start with the fun little meme that's going around is you get to choose 3 of 9, which is like, oh, look at these movies or music albums or video games. Everyone has to do it. So we did sidekicks.
You can only choose 3.
And with the 9, we actually messed up the 9 we were supposed to pick, but we still got some good choices out of those 9 that we ended up throwing up there.
Okay, right? We tried. It was a secondary attempt. What can you say? What were some of the feedback that we got from people on Twitter there, Trevor?
Yeah,
What
and
else did we
actually,
pick?
like, let's start with the 9. What was the 9 that was originally on there?
So the 9 that we started were Patrick Star from SpongeBob, Spock, Chewbacca, Dory, Jesse from Breaking Bad, Luigi, Tails, Dwight Schrute, Donkey from Shrek.
Solid choices. Okay.
I definitely remember who I chose on this one. Because
I
I think I chose Tails for sure. Because Tails, I think, is one of the, in my opinion, when I was a little kid, Tails was the greatest sidekick ever. I loved Tails. And then you got Luigi, who's just a classic. Obviously, he's going to be around. He's going to be a good sidekick because, I mean, he's his brother, right? And then you got Chewbacca. Now, I almost look at Chewbacca as, is Chewbacca and Han Solo, do they come together as sidekicks?
Like
and they're 2 sidekicks to Luke Skywalker and his family? I don't
Like
know.
your jazz hand.
If you do it from the Skywalker family perspective, they're both sidekicks.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you do it when they're both on the Falcon, Chewie is the co-pilot and Han's
Yes,
the pilot.
That's true.
That is true.
No,
And
here's
if you
my-
like Solo.
But here's my thing about Luigi, though. Just to circle back to that real quick, is that Luigi really is the same exact character, just green. You know, unless you're playing
Taller,
Super Mario Brothers 2,
And he's
like,
thinner.
but really it's the same person. So it's, I think that disqualifies him right away. I mean, yeah, he's probably the most famous one, like one of the more famous ones, but I don't know. Where's Chewbacca? I mean, I don't know. That guy is pretty powerful. I mean, he's the...
Well, the fun thing
Well,
about
you can rip the
Chewbacca,
arms off of.
he's essentially, humans are his pets because he lives so long. You know, like we have dogs and they're not going to live as long as us. Chewbacca's the inverse, where he has humans through his life and they're going to pass away before he does.
Oh, that's so sad.
Wow,
I
Poor
never
Chewie.
looked at it that way. Oh,
That's why he was so broken up at the end of Rise of Skywalker. He's like, damn it again.
Yeah.
He's a human now.
Right?
Oh my god. Never looked at it that way.
Wow.
That's fun. Thank you for that. Now I'm gonna look at it like he's losing. Oh, I don't like looking at it like that.
Sorry. That's the way it is. The mighty Chewbacca. And he's just great. He's so lovable and fun. I mean, I'm pretty sure I chose him. I can't remember who the other people I chose. I'm
It
sure I'll
seems like
come back to
the most popular picks were Chewbacca, Spock, and Jesse
So-
Pinkman.
Yeah, Spock I chose. That's right.
Yeah.
Spock is pretty iconic. He's pretty important.
I've never watched Breaking Bad, so I couldn't put
Should watch it now.
him on my list.
Yeah, you have all
Josh,
this time.
did you choose 3?
I don't think I posted, but I would choose Jesse, Chewbacca, and Dwight. I think because
all right.
I really like Breaking Bad, and The Office I really liked, and Chewbacca is my favorite Star Wars character.
Heck yeah,
do
man.
you mind if I throw a rebuttal in there for
Go ahead.
Dwight? I
Dwight.
feel like Dwight would be super annoying if you had him as a sidekick. Am I
We're
wrong?
thinking what
know.
sidekicks to
I don't
keep.
know.
We're not down the road as what sidekick we want as our own personal sidekick. That's later.
Well, no, yeah. If you want to keep, I mean, okay.
Okay.
I see.
Don't
Well,
jump
then if you're
ahead.
gonna go
guys.
that direction, what is Donkey gonna do?
Donkey is definitely on the annoying side, but remember how good Shrek 2 is, and it almost beat Aliens.
Oh,
so you can't
I know.
discount Donkey.
Yeah, I guess you can't discount that movie. I don't have any memory of watching.
Cody chose Aliens over Shrek. I'm still disappointed with that decision, but that's all right.
It's controversial. It was controversial, I know.
I'm
Shrek
sure.
was this close to pulling it off.
Full
our
news.
fans.
I thought
our
I had
fans
everybody
even had
convinced,
words about it. You had me convinced. You had me in there.
You did. That was for sure. Donkey. Nah, I don't know about that. As far as Jesse, I have not watched that show either, so I can't comment on that. Not saying it's a bad show. I just haven't watched it yet.
You haven't watched Breaking Bad?
Okay, so
I've watched
I'm
the
not the only
pilot.
one who has.
You guys
I've
asked
watched-
me, oh, you haven't seen this, you haven't seen this, and you guys haven't actually seen Breaking Bad.
I've
Hold
watched
on, the
for-
one
I
show
won't
you've
talk.
actually watched, and you're gonna get on
It's
us.
one
about
of the best shows ever made, but
Yeah.
It was like Game of Thrones, like how Game of Thrones was, how everybody was tuned into it. That's how Breaking
yeah,
Bad.
that's how Breaking Bad was.
So as I was saying, 4th time now, I watched the first 3 episodes probably 3 or 4 times, and I just could not get into it. It's a great show. I mean, I can tell it's a brilliant show, but for some reason, I never feel like I want to watch another episode or come back to it. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's not my genre type or something is off about it, but I can tell it's a brilliant show. I mean, that first episode is absolutely amazing. It's just, it feels like they're almost like mini movies in a way. Like there's so much to them that it's almost hard to binge it, in my opinion. For me, that's just for the way I
you gotta savor that
movie.
stuff.
Yeah, it's dense. I mean, those episodes are intense, and I'm like, I don't know if I can get into this as much as I wanted to. Like maybe I'll watch it slowly throughout the years, but I don't see myself binging it. But anyways, that's my little take. Nothing against the show at all. Someday I'll get through it probably, but not right
well, first, I want to say I'm sorry, Prague. I did talk
Okay.
over you.
It's okay.
Now that's out there in the universe, recorded. That I apologize for talking over.
It's okay.
But
You're like
I
Jay and
do.
I'm like Silent Bob.
There
so
you
it
go.
works out.
You're a good sidekick, bud.
I am.
But I will second exactly what you said. I mean, everything you said, that's pretty much the reason why I never watched Breaking Bad either. And I'll probably give it another try again. There's so many other shows right now that are coming out. Like, we're right now in the middle of Ozark, and wow, this show is so good right now. So it's hard for us to, jump back to go watch, Breaking Bad. And Breaking Bad
Speaking
doesn't
of
seem like one of
Ozark,
those shows.
Yeah.
Is the wife like the
sidekick?
sidekick?
Yeah, I would say so. Laura Linney. Yeah.
I was thinking maybe the curly-haired blonde girl. That's kind of his sidekick the whole time.
Yeah.
Maybe
I can
I
see
haven't
that.
gotten far enough. I mean, out of 3 seasons, she develops a sidekick. She's kind of turning into his sidekick, and now we're in season 3. I mean, Laura Linney, she's almost turning into, I don't want to say villain, but she's turning into, you know what she's almost, she wants to be the leader. She wants to be the one in charge. She's sick of taking orders from Jason Bateman. So I can't look at her like a sidekick.
Yeah, it's very mobster-ish in that way, where the wife tries to kind of take over or gets annoyed at the power struggle.
It ties into Breaking Bad because Skylar is definitely not a sidekick. She's just super annoying throughout the entirety of the series.
Yeah, she is.
Well, there you go.
Does that make sense to you, Prague? Because it doesn't
did a
make
good
sense
job.
to me.
I just laugh and nod.
Well, there's 2 characters we didn't include in the 9 that I meant to include, and they are probably the 2 most well-known. It's Samwise from Lord of the Rings and Robin from Batman and Robin.
Yeah, Robin. I forgot all about that guy.
Oh, I like that Robin.
Robin, the ultimate sidekick. The original.
He really
Robin is the ultimate sidekick.
Yeah, totally.
When you think about it, you think about him, so it's kind of hard to really judge anybody else.
And it doesn't even matter who he is. He could be Dick Grayson or Jason Todd or whatever.
Any one of them be the same idea. They're always great. They always support him. They always they're small enough they can get to the smaller places that he can't. Like they have a lot of different attributes. They're a lot younger and more spry, I guess. Acrobatic, all those things.
And they wear those tight little green things.
Oh yeah, those hot pants. Great.
Batman's always standing behind Robin.
Always.
Always.
Oh, yeah.
Always. Poor Alex. Yeah. Look, a lot of covers.
Batman's in the shadows and Robin's out in the forefront.
Yep.
Shoot him first.
Shoot
him.
Perform for me, boy. Very nice. Now, do that.
Do a trapeze act. Not like your parents, though.
Not like your parents, though. But what's unique about Robin is we were talking about this pre-show, but the idea is about, can a sidekick become the hero? And in this instance, he actually has in the comic books. Robin has actually worn the mantle in the comic books. He was Batman for a brief run during Grant Morrison's run of Batman. Well, actually, one of my favorites. So there you go.
Was that before Joker killed him?
Joker killed who? Oh, Dick. Are you talking about Todd? He didn't kill Dick Grayson.
Man, he didn't kill Dick Grayson. For some reason, I thought he killed Dick Grayson. My bad. Hey, spoiler alert, folks.
Robin. That was a long time ago. No, that was.
He becomes Nightwing, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he becomes Nightwing, and then he becomes Batman for a bit, and now he's Nightwing again. But kind of interesting for a sidekick to be a sidekick for so many generations, and then now he is branched off into his own thing, and he is his own person. So he's his own hero now.
Which would be great if they would actually almost make like a movie out of Robin. Like we haven't seen any Robin movies. We've seen Batman and Robin. We've never seen anything like a straight up, hey, Batman died. We need another vigilante because Gotham's police force can't handle all this stuff. They need to have like a Robin movie now. I feel it's time. I'm a little over the Batman story. We've seen the Batman story done over and over and over again, and I know that we've talked about this in the last episode.
We just talked about this.
Yeah, we just talked about this, and I'm kind of over the Batman now. So I'm ready to see a Robin movie.
Maybe,
and I know that DC. Sorry, go ahead, Josh.
So maybe you should check out Titans. I haven't seen it, but I know it. He's the leader of obviously the.
Well, Teen Titans Go to the movies. Teen Titans Go where they made the movie version. It's all about the greater idea of Robin trying to get his own movie. He's like, oh, look, everybody gets their own movie. Even Alfred's getting a movie. And Robin's entire goal is to get a movie. Yeah. So.
And
I will say one of the coolest parts about that Teen Titans Go to the movies is the fact that they Stan Lee to cameo in that. For something that was DC and they had Stan Lee in it, I mean, how perfect was that?
Robin,
it was almost like he was making fun of himself, making fun of himself. God, I couldn't get that word out. No, sometimes, man.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man. This is what happens when you guys get me right after eating a whole bunch of chocolate.
Uh-huh.
Like a little kid after eating candy.
No, it's doo-doo, baby.
What?
Anyway,
Let's go back to these sidekicks.
I would rather have a Nightwing movie than a Robin movie. Personally, I wouldn't care for a Robin movie at all. I would rather have a Nightwing movie. So that's just me. Have him go to Chicago and become Nightwing.
Yeah.
Now,
He has his own sweet catchphrase.
Yeah.
What's catchphrase?
Robin's catchphrase. Crack an egg on it. Caw-caw!
What? I'm guessing that from Teen Titans too.
Oh, man.
It's got to
You
be
got-
Teen Titans.
Better believe it.
Oh.
It's a classic.
This couldn't go more off the rails. Should we
Sam,
jump ahead?
where Sam essentially carries Frodo the entire 3 movies and books, pretty much single-handedly gets Frodo to the finish line. So I don't even know if he counts as a sidekick at that point.
Literally and figuratively, he does.
That's most sidekicks, right? They do most of the work while the
The person gets
leader
glory,
looks
right?
good, just
Yeah.
gets all the credit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, shoot, let's jump back over to Chewbacca for a second. I mean, he doesn't even get the medal in Return of the Jedi. Everybody gets medals
Or New
except for
Hope, yeah.
him. Wait, was that a New Hope where they were handing out medals?
Yeah, it's the first movie.
Then he gets it in Rise of Skywalker. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it only took him 30 years to do it. But then again, that's like a blink of an eye for him. He's 900 years old.
Yeah, he's like, a day went by and I don't have a medal. Sweet.
I wonder if there's like dog years for him.
Yeah,
it would
well,
be
what
inverse
is
dog horse.
it? It would be inverse dog years, but yes. Yeah, how old is he when he met Han the first time?
He's sick.
Called like a teenager. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, Sam definitely is a great sidekick, probably one of the best in my opinion. So he's on my list for sure. But yeah, he's almost more of a hero in that regard.
That's
But
why
he
he's
also-
put Star Wars on my list, just because he's not a hero in any capacity whatsoever. He's the perfect sidekick who helps and just hangs with SpongeBob regardless of anything that's happening.
Just goes with the
Right?
flow.
Yeah, he just
Yeah,
kind of
that's- That kind of sounds like a best friend, though.
Well,
That's what a sidekick is.
Usually, yeah.
It's the
I don't know,
sidekick who's not as skilled and good, and they're like, you're friends, you grow up, and the one friend is always like the good friend, like he's always top of the class, or he's on like the sports team, he's the quarterback or whatever, and then there's the other friend, and he just hangs along, and that
Yep.
becomes a sidekick as time goes on.
Like Ned from Spider-Man.
Yeah,
There you go.
Oh,
yeah.
in the chair.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yep. But then again, Peter Parker in those movies, really, he was kind of a nerdy kid too. It was almost like nerd hanging out with nerd, and then all of a sudden he becomes Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm
I agree.
trying
Okay.
to think of ways around it.
Well, yeah. Anyways.
But what about Spock? I mean, in the list that we had Spock on that top 9, and a lot of people chose Spock. Why do you guys think that is?
Why we haven't seen him?
No,
why he was chosen
why
so
was
much?
he chosen so much out of the people who retweeted that?
I think it's because he's like, really iconic. I mean, he kind of was like a
Yeah.
mentor to everybody on the ship, and he kind of was like the spiritual guru and kind of set the tone for the whole series, like outside of just Next Generation or the original cast. So, yeah, I don't know. He kind of was.
And Spock for
very
me,
important.
he never feels like a sidekick. Like, I understand that he's like first commander, whatever, and captain is, but it seems like almost Kirk won't do anything without talking to Spock.
But that's what a lot of good leaders do with their sidekicks, though. They always kind of go to their sidekick, like, "Hey, I can't figure this out. Can you help me with it?" Like you see that a lot in everything: books, movies, TV shows.
I guess we could have included Commander Riker for Picard.
Yeah, same idea.
How is that show going?
I don't know.
I didn't watch
We're
it
talking
yet.
about Next Generation.
Oh, I
don't even know
thought
if
you were
Riker's
talking
on
about
Picard.
Picard. I thought you were talking about
Data
I'm
might
like,
be
it's been
more of
off
a
the air
sidekick.
for a long time.
Sorry, I totally thought you
Data
were talking
probably
about
is the
Picard.
sidekick on Next Generation.
Actually, yeah, maybe more so because I guess he is more of like the Spock, whereas, yeah, Riker's not really.
Like Riker wants to go be a captain of his own ship. Like you know,
Yeah,
he's like
The muscle.
he's just buying his
wants to
time.
he's like the jock that wants to get your position. Yeah. Yeah. All right. That makes sense. I like that idea better, actually. Yeah, because Data is the Spock of the Next Generation.
Right.
I like it. All right.
I dig that.
No,
I
so
like that.
There's other sidekicks who aren't as, traditional roles. Like, the Batman Robin sidekick or Hero Journey sidekicks. That makes sense. But then there's Smithers to Mr. Burns, which is a whole different dynamic of being a sidekick.
Well, that's almost like that. I feel like that's almost like a villain. Like he's because Mr. Burns is the villain of the show, and Smithers is like that villainous, not so much villainous, but he's the sidekick to the villain.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of those. I don't know where I was going with that.
That's
I'm
like the
sorry,
henchman
guys.
idea. That's
Yeah,
like
that's
Igor.
what
It's
probably
like
saying.
the
Mini-Me.
winged monkeys. Yeah.
Right. But Smithers
So-
is almost like an assistant. He's the assistant more than a henchman. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's way more than a henchman for sure.
So, sidekick, sure, I guess. I don't
But
know.
henchmen, can they be sidekicks just because they're on the villainous side of things? Because then it goes back to perspective. Like, wouldn't Thanos have done a better job if he had better sidekicks? Like, his sidekicks suck.
They're
Like,
terrible.
they're absolutely terrible.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Well, the guy who was the mental guy, the guy who could make stuff float around him, that was a pretty cool bad guy until he went up against. Obviously, he went up against
anybody?
Iron Man.
The Squidward guy, yeah.
Squidward,
Wow.
yes, yeah. No, I thought he was great.
What
I
was
mean,
his name?
he flinged his fingers and things just flew all over the place.
Yes. Yeah, that was
I
great.
don't know.
It was
He
great.
got beat by an Aliens movie reference. I don't know if he was that great.
He doesn't watch TV, so he's
Doesn't watch TV.
Shout out to Endgame. Can you believe it's been a year? It's like,
Oh my
jeez.
God. Seriously. Endgame's been a year since that movie came out, and I don't know. There really hasn't been anything to compare. So
Speaking of Marvel, we did Spider-Man, but are there like sidekicks within like the Avengers? Like I think Tony and Cap are kind of on equal playing
Yeah,
fields,
like-
and then you have Bucky is
Yeah.
Cap's sidekick, but Falcon is also Cap's sidekick, but Black Widow is also Cap's sidekick.
There he is, multiple sidekicks. Side hustle there. Oh, this captain guy. I guess
All
that's America's
those-
ass for you.
all those characters are all becoming main heroes now too. So they're all making that transition. Well, I mean, let's see if it succeeds or not because they haven't been released yet. But I mean,
What does it matter?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier is coming. With Winter Soldier being second in the title, does that mean he's the sidekick to Falcon? How are they going to do that dynamic?
I guess he would be, right? Because he doesn't have the shield.
Yeah, Falcon's training to be Cap's replacement.
Yeah, so yeah, he is the sidekick.
we have
Soldier
War
sidekick.
Machine. War Machine as Iron Man's sidekick.
Yeah, he's
oh,
Tony's
okay. I was sitting there trying to think who would be Tony's sidekick.
Well, Peter is also Tony's
Yeah.
sidekick.
Not anymore.
You could say the same thing with Cap when he's like 150 years
Exactly.
old.
That's true.
We were trying to do a snapshot. It's like a Okoye being a sidekick to Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's kind of neat. Yeah, I guess within the Avengers there are a lot of sidekicks actually. When you start thinking about it, drill it
Like
down.
Hulk is kind of like Thor's sidekick.
Who was that?
Yeah, I guess so. Hulk, you said?
Oh, Hulk. I don't.
Like you
Oh,
can say
yeah,
Valkyrie, but
I-
Valkyrie's too easy.
Like
Yeah.
I can't see Hulk having any kind of sidekick, and I can't see him actually being a sidekick.
So what about like Groot to Peter Quill to Star Lord?
I feel Groot's
Well,
more to Rocket than
Rocket.
anybody else.
Rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rocket and Groot. I mean, but they're almost
How
like
do
a
you
2 for
How
1.
do you consider that though? Because like they all stick together necessarily. You know, do they all fall under a sidekick to Star Lord as their leader, or
And are they all sidekicks to the Avengers
they-
because they're their own
I mean,
team?
are they all equal, or some of them equals?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I think they're a full team sidekicks.
Drax always
interesting.
feels like a sidekick to everyone.
Yeah.
Like
for
Gamora
sure.
seems like she would be on equal footing with Quill.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, Drax not so much. He's the muscle. He just kind of shows up and fights for you. He won't make
Yeah.
any decisions. That's for sure. He's not gonna lead anybody.
He just hides.
Oh, very well too, by the way.
In plain sight, yeah.
Yes, he's very good at that. Um,
I stand very still.
I always thought the Invisible Man was just a new Marvel spin-off with Drax, but I put it on, I'm like, he's not even in this.
I was like, where is he? You just couldn't see him because he was standing so perfectly still. He
Well,
was in the
that
movie the whole
takes
time.
care of our top 9. Should we venture out? I see that we've got a bunch more. I really like the George Costanza sidekick. George Costanza being a sidekick to Jerry Seinfeld. I know we did I just made it a huge pivot out of Marvel, but we've discussed Marvel.
Oh, that's Friends.
many,
Pivot.
many times.
Sorry.
But what? Pivot.
Pivot. Wrong one. Sorry. But yeah,
That
Seinfeld.
is-
Yeah, I guess he is, and so is Kramer.
Kramer.
I guess in a way,
Yeah.
but more George Costanza, I guess.
Well, yeah, because George Costanza was Jerry's best friend.
Yeah,
I
so that
mean,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Kramer was just his neighbor.
Yeah, he was the crazy guy next door that was smoking too much something. I don't know what he's up to.
Cigars and pipes. 'Cause
Right.
They
Yeah.
have the episode.
yeah.
They had the episode where he smoked too much. And his skin looked like a what was it? A baseball glove.
Yes, that was great.
It looked awful. Dude, that show is I would love to go back and rewatch all those episodes, but that would take forever.
You can get through them pretty quick, probably, without
Yeah,
commercials
I
now.
mean-
They're only 20 minutes long.
20 to 25 minutes long. I guess that's not so bad. And right now I'm doing that with Frasier, so yeah.
Frasier, so Niles Crane, his brother would be his psychic.
Else Crane would be his sidekick.
Just
And then
like
the
Sideshow
dad,
Bob, parallel to The Simpsons.
Sideshow Bob would be. Oh wait, Sideshow
Krusty the
Bob
Clown.
was Krusty the Clown's sidekick. Oh
Exactly.
man, my goodness. Oh,
And then who's
We,
Frasier a sidekick to on Cheers?
He's-
who's this-
oh, two?
yeah,
Yeah.
who would he be to on Cheers? His own wife, Lilith, maybe? I don't know.
And Lilith? What? I don't know, but
know.
Lilith was more of the sidekick to Frasier. I mean, you had Norm, you had Cliff, and they were sidekicks to Sam Malone.
Yeah.
Woody was also. You know what? We don't need to go into Cheers talk right now.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. I wouldn't
Who?
mind it. Who?
The
Cheers.
problem is our audience might be a little too young for Cheers
They're not
talk.
like, what the
Yeah,
heck?
they're like, I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, good call. All right, we'll move on from that one.
Well,
Good
but
call.
why don't we stick with Cheers a little bit and do? Oh wait, no, never mind. I was thinking. I was thinking of the Cheers version, Simpsons version of Cheers with Barney at
Tammy
the
Mom.
bar.
Oh, the bar, yeah. That was
Barney
exciting.
at the wasn't that his name, Barney?
Barney,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw
He made-
Barney Rubble on our on our thing,
Yeah.
and I immediately thought
Spoiler
of Barney
alert.
from Simpsons. I know, and we'll get there.
Well, Barney Rubble, he might be the ultimate sidekick because in the 60s they had very simple storytellings for kids' cartoons. Like, it is pretty A to B. There's no diversion. So he's Fred's best friend. He always is in the, passenger seat. He's always like second fiddle. He has a kid after Fred has a kid. all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, you went deep on this. I had no idea. I haven't watched this since I was a little kid.
I've never
Yes,
watched
it was-
Flintstones in my life. I've
Well, it's
never,
it's
not
actually
even
more
one
of an-
minute of Flintstones.
It's
seen the
more of
movie.
an adult show. It's not so much a kids show. It was targeted more for an older audience.
That's
Like
because it
that's
was
why
a,
you had
like
the
cavemen
commercials
people
of them
old?
smoking and stuff.
well, it was a takeoff of an older TV show called The Honeymooners. So that's why. So people were like, "Oh, I know that show. Well, I'll have my kids watch it. And I'll get the humor," kind of thing.
That's like
Yeah.
Abbott and Costello.
Yeah.
Sidekick.
But still,
Vaughn! When I want a
Nice.
good smoke, I go for Winston.
perfect.
You guys
Keep going.
don't
This is
remember
great.
those commercials?
Yes.
Hey, Bond, throw me a pack of Winstons.
Oh,
that's my-
jeez. That's great. Fantastic, sir.
That's why he had that raspy voice. He was smoking Winstons.
That's exactly why.
Back in prehistoric times.
I like your impression, sir. That was very nice.
Thank you. Hopefully, I'll have more impressions coming on our TikTok channel. So make sure you guys follow our
What?
TikTok.
Follow us where, sir?
On
Yeah, how do you follow us?
TikTok. Make sure you follow us over on TikTok, on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Dude, we're hitting up all the channels. We're pretty much social millennials, except for one of us.
What's the tagline though? At what? What are we following? Just randomly? We
At-
just go on to TikTok and I can
Secondary
find you?
heroes. Well, I would hope that you guys know by now, with all of our secondary heroes talk tonight, that you can follow us over on
What?
all of those secondary heroes for fun pop culture news, episode drops, and secondary interactions with you, our fans. And yeah, rate and review our podcast over on iTunes, Spotify, and all Google Play, all those things, because this is all free for you and priceless to us. Hey, now let's get back to it.
Well, speaking of social media, Godzilla's trending due to this amazing image that looks like Godzilla is like in the outline of the sun, deep in the ocean. And Godzilla, does he have a sidekick?
Godzuki.
I was just saying.
Godzuki is all I can think about.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
pretty sure that whenever I tweeted or retweeted that, I said, no, I'm more of a Godzuki fan. I'm really not more of a Godzuki
That was like
fan.
Millie
I
Bobby
just-
Brown.
Yes.
Millie Bobby. Oh, geez. Yeah, there you go.
He is though. Well, if you watch the new movies, she kind of is.
Well, I guess Mothra is kind of a sidekick too. If we did like a new movie or any type of movie, she's Queen of the Monsters.
She is.
That's true.
Bless her heart.
Hmm. Now, what's gonna happen whenever Godzilla meets King Kong? Are they gonna team up eventually, and then who's gonna be whose
Delayed
sidekick in that?
indefinitely.
Inevitably.
Oh,
I
is
like
it really?
inevitably too. That's even
Both.
sadder.
They both work. Yeah.
I didn't know that they. Oh man, really? Because I was actually kind of
If it's a
excited.
It was supposed to
movie,
come
just-
out this year,
Just
but
think it's delayed, okay? If it's a movie.
Well,
But
I
no,
mean,
it's going to be a
soon.
team up. We're going to have Avengers meet Godzilla and King Kong. We're going to do some fun stuff there.
Oh yeah.
That's a whole
That would be
episode
some
on its own.
crossover
it's
stuff.
gonna be
right?
the colorful
really fun.
monsters and Godzilla and King Kong.
And they'll bring in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Mhm.
Go Power
You
Rangers!
toss in Ninja Turtles and He-Man shows up. Batman just comes out of nowhere.
Okay, now you're taking it too.
Money in the bank. Imagine how much money that movie would make. You get every fandom together and just smash it.
Everything.
So how much would that cost?
I don't know. Ask Steven Spielberg when he made Ready Player One.
Right.
Yeah, those are all Warner Brothers assets. We're talking
Yeah.
big.
And then
Ooh,
the ultimate
except
one will be
Doc
the Shaman
Brown.
Bears for that, since it's the coronavirus time. So there you go. Sorry, I talked over you this time, sir.
it's okay.
That was a
Well,
good
Doc
joke. too.
Brown
That's
is
all
a
right.
universal property. But
Sure.
they
Anyways,
had to put that in the movie because they needed to have. Dude, come on. They needed to have the DeLorean.
The
course.
DeLorean's the sidekick. It's
Oh,
not
just
the
read
it
car,
out.
Doc.
Oh,
It's the car.
That's
Okay, if you look at it like that, where the car is actually sentient, dude, I'm all for it. Because think about it. If Marty McFly didn't hit it at the right time, or hit it at the right time, right once Doc's alarm clock went off, and the car didn't die, he would have been at the lightning strike too early and he wouldn't have gone back to 1985. But because the car died and he goes, no, not right now. And then he bumps his head into it. The car horn beeps, which by the way, in a DeLorean, the car horn is not when you press on the steering wheel. It's somewhere else. Anyways, so the car comes back alive at the right.
Else? We have to imagine where it is now.
I fell asleep. I'm sorry. What happened? What happened?
Oh, Prague. Come on,
I take my
man.
pills?
That's his bedtime.
What time is it?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Make sure you take your pills. It's the one that has the TU on it. Get your bifocals so you can see that.
Okay.
But yeah, if the car didn't have, oh my God, you do have bifocals.
This looks a lot older.
For those listening, YouTube has some goals.
Hold on, let me turn it up. What?
This is insane.
Huh?
Anyways, the car would have never made it to the power line in time, or it did make it in time because the car knew, hey, the clock is wrong. We go now. That's how Marty got back. The car is sentient. I love that theory, and I'm sticking with it.
No, I'm not sentimental. No. Sorry, what?
Poor guy.
Sorry, what?
There you go. There you go.
I'm playing old man. All right. Let's continue on. Who else is the sidekick?
Well, you have to tie in Morty, since Rick and Morty is just Back to the Future.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
jeez, Rick.
Morty probably might be the most worthless sidekick ever.
Oh, God, yeah.
Totally.
Like Rick's told us, Morty, I keep you around because your low IQ masks my high IQ. That's really the only reason you're around. You have no value whatsoever. So
that is a value, I guess, right? In a way. Huh.
Come on, Morty. We're gonna go on an adventure. Get up. Come on.
So his stupidity is what makes him an awesome
That's
sidekick.
his superpower.
Superpower is stupidity.
He's super stupid.
It's like Patrick from SpongeBob.
It's like Patrick, exactly. He's just like Patrick.
Man.
Perfect.
It's a good example.
Yeah.
I want a SpongeBob Rick and Morty crossover now.
Well, they've already done it with The Simpsons. They might as well do it with SpongeBob.
The Meme King, SpongeBob.
The Meme King.
Isn't that the truth? Good Lord. There's so many memes right now with all that stuff, with quarantine. That's a whole episode on itself, too. All these memes.
All the memes. Secondary memes.
So we all just, or I don't know. Did you guys finish Tiger King?
I did.
You did not? Try to think of who Joe Exotic's sidekick would be.
The tiger.
Wow,
Nobody.
crickets.
Nobody.
Okay.
The tiger.
No,
Well,
he's a sidekick. He's a selfish prick. No.
No, I was thinking maybe his husband, the one that's missing all of his teeth.
No, not even that guy. No. Mm-mm.
No, he was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
At least the doc guy had all of his wives, his 5 wives, so those are his sidekicks.
He knew what was up. He knew how to do things, man. That doc.
Oh, he was like the worst. I think he's got to be the worst out of all of them. He's totally running a cult.
We should go on a whole
no
rant on Tiger King then. We're going to go into a whole episode here.
That's why he was all quiet at the end. He was like, "Oh,
yeah." He's like,
anything."
Yeah.
Much.
So where are we going next, Trevor?
How many characters have multiple sidekicks?
Ooh.
Well,
like Harry Potter literally has 2 sidekicks.
Yeah, Hermione and Ron.
They're both his sidekicks equally in different ways. Like Ron is super loyal, and then Hermione is actually valuable.
She's smart.
Yeah,
Neither one of
Ron
them.
is not smart.
She's like a witch and knows all kinds of actual witchcraft,
right?
Which is helpful in a world that is based on magic. Ron's like, "Don't worry, Harry. I'll go punch this guy in the face."
Yeah, don't worry, Harry. I'll just scream like a little girl for the whole movie. Maybe that'll help us somehow.
Ron's kind of like Finn, where he just yells Harry like Finn yells Ray.
Yeah.
Ray!
Harry! Harry! Too true. But so loyal. God, so loyal.
Loyalty is a quality of a sidekick.
is.
I mean, if we're thinking about multiple sidekicks, then we would have to jump back to Lord of the Rings again, because not only Sam, you also had the two brothers
Merry and
that
Pippin.
tagged along. Yeah, they were practically sidekicks.
Yeah.
What about?
I mean, they were there till the end.
What about Darth Vader and all the stormtroopers? Those are
No,
sidekicks.
come on.
Those
Come on,
are henchmen.
Everybody's
That's henchmen right there, man. Well,
Is
Darth Vader,
Emperor Palpatine's sidekick?
Yeah.
Yeah, Darth Vader's a sidekick.
Rule of 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
Ahsoka is Anakin's sidekick in Clone Wars.
It's the same thing no matter what, right? All down the line from both Sith and
Yeah,
Jedi.
they have to have the little Padawan.
Yep.
Because Anakin is Obi-Wan's sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
And then Obi-Wan is Qui-Gon's sidekick.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So that's why
Been a
Luke is
sidekick
so
his whole
unique.
life.
Yeah, Anakin's always been a sidekick. He's never
Yeah.
once stood
But
for
here's the
himself
thing:
at any point.
without Darth Vader, Star Wars movies wouldn't be what they are. I mean, Darth Vader. I mean, he might be a sidekick to Palpatine, but without him, like, you don't really have a captivating story.
Right,
Sure,
that's why the
he's a
prequels
big-
suck.
It's a big deal. Exactly.
You don't need the prequels because it ruins Darth Vader and the mystique
This
of
is
Darth
your
Vader.
weekly reminder that.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what anyone ever has to say.
Hot
Done.
rabbit.
Well, no, it's just interesting that Darth
Watch
Vader.
Clone Wars on Disney Plus, people. That's what you call a storytelling about Anakin Skywalker and his life as a sidekick.
But I like your point, Alex. I like your point. The point that he was trying to make was that the sidekick is actually more prominent than the actual main person.
Yeah,
That's pretty
which is
cool.
Kind of,
I agree.
That's pretty wild to think about, though. But that's also the same thing with The Force Awakens, with the big head person. What is his name? Come on, I'm the normie here. Snoke.
What?
Thank you.
Oh,
And
yeah,
Kylo
good
Ren.
question.
Kylo Ren is just the sidekick to Snoke.
that's
he's
what I'm
So
saying.
he's not in Last Jedi. Spoiler alert.
Until he got
Rey has
Ryan
two
Johnson.
Yeah, Rey has 2 sidekicks. Actually, she might have 3 sidekicks because Poe and Finn are both her sidekicks, but BB-8 is probably the primo sidekick.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Now, does Chewbacca turn into her sidekick as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
She has 4 sidekicks.
Wow.
No.
Yowza. Yeah,
and then
I mean,
and
Chewbacca
essentially
lost
becomes her
his
sidekick
head.
in Rise of Skywalker. So,
Is this going to turn into a Star
All
Wars
the
Marvel
sidekicks.
podcast? Because it's
Every
like,
that's what we're
episode
doing now.
does. What are you talking about?
we were talking about Harry Potter, and you weren't interested. So, what did you want me to do?
well, no, I went into Lord of the Rings.
Because
Oh, yeah,
Harry
I brought
has
up-
a
I
third
brought up Darth
sidekick,
Vader,
and
I'm
it's
sorry.
Hedwig, the prime sidekick of the entire franchise.
What does Hedwig actually do?
He
She
delivers
the
mail.
mail. God.
He's like
everybody's
Cliff
sidekick.
from Cheers.
He's like perfect. Yeah. Oh,
And Hedwig is also like a kind of like a therapy owl. He can talk to her in his times of trouble.
He's a Newman of Harry Potter, then, right? Just bring the mail.
Newman.
that's
Yeah,
true.
he's a mailman too.
Who's
But
all
if he's
the
a
famous mailman? of pop
if he's
culture?
a therapy episode, or if he episode, oh my god, if he's a therapy owl, he's allowed on airplanes now. So okay, I can dig that. Cool.
Do we have any Game of Thrones sidekicks, or is everybody out for themselves since
Yes,
there
it's
isn't?
the Hound and Arya. So Arya is the Hound's sidekick for a while. Quite a
Is
while,
she the
actually.
sidekick?
Yeah, I think
We
so.
all
She purposely hates him and is rebelling against him the entire time and planning to kill him.
But she's still there. I don't know.
She's there against her will, though.
I don't know. There's a little bit of Stockholm syndrome there.
Yeah, after a
what
while,
is
but at the very start. That's not the sidekick.
Oh, I love those two
Brienne
characters.
Brienne of Tarth. Brienne of Tarth was sidekicks with buddy boy who lost his hand.
Jamie
What about
Jamie
Lannister.
Lannister.
That was
Ron.
another thing of being captivity.
Yeah.
But Brienne is holding
Uh,
Jamie captive. Can she be his sidekick?
Yeah, sure.
What about
I'll
Braun?
allow it. Oh, Braun, that's a good call. He's a good sidekick, actually. He's a really good. Well, until he became not a good sidekick, but that's
When you said Braun, I thought of Bran because
I thought
Faith is
of
the
Bran
pronunciation
too.
of A or something.
What? But that also made me think of Hodor. Hodor was the
Hodor.
ultimate sidekick because
was.
he
Yeah.
dragged that
He
carried him the whole
everywhere.
time.
around.
The
He's
whole
like a
time.
big version of Sam.
Saved his life too,
Yeah.
holding the door.
And
Yeah.
By the way,
I mean,
there's going to be
once we see
spoilers
what
in this.
happens with Bran's character, Hodor is probably the most important
Import-
sidekick in
you're
Game
right.
of Thrones.
If it weren't for him, there would be no future king. My
Yes.
goodness. Spoiler alert.
What a
Uh,
terrible ending.
Such a good
Seriously.
ending. What an amazingly crafted show.
God.
Shout out to season 8.
Shout out to Dan and David.
Dan
Excellent
and Dave.
creators.
oh
Never
God.
getting a job again.
Jeez.
Those guys are done. They'll never get another job. Maybe
Yeah,
we
once
should
they-
have them. You know what? I bet we could
Should
book
have
them
them
for an
on.
interview on the podcast.
No,
They got nothing else
They're not doing
skip ours.
anything.
They'll cancel on us.
Yeah,
they
that's.
will.
They'll ruin it.
Yeah, don't bring them on, please. We don't want them drag us down.
Oh,
We don't want them dragging us down.
Oh, there you go.
there we go, Prague.
Drogon is a sidekick then for
Perfect, Drogon.
yeah.
Awesome sidekick.
You know we love your puns, Prague, right?
I hope you do.
Okay. Yeah, they keep us all smiling. Hey fans, write down in the comments what your favorite Prague pun is. I would love to know.
Yeah, let me know. Right, or quips or whatever, I say. It could be anything. But anyway, so moving on from that one. Have we really discussed, though, what makes the difference between a sidekick and a secondary hero? Like somebody who may be important to the plot that isn't necessarily a sidekick? Is that what we
That's
should
a good
distinguish
one,
them
Buck.
as?
We do need that distinction because the idea of secondary hero, like we want to do like a big, huge Hallmark episode about that. Like we're building
Right.
towards it. It's all a
We need
shared
to do
universe,
this.
all of our episodes. And so,
Oh, man. I have a good one, but I know y'all don't watch anime. But
That's all right.
for those that do watch anime, I think like a good example of like a secondary hero would be you have All Might as your main hero, and then you
Okay.
have your number 2 hero as oh my god, I can't remember his name now. Sorry.
I think I know who you're talking about because I've seen
Is
people
this-
talk about this character.
This is My Hero Academia, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is all. Oh, is it? I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
making stuff up. I shouldn't talk.
But they do a good job in regards to like ranking people, so you'll know who's
Who's a secondary hero?
who's a secondary hero. So I mean you have that. So it's
So wait,
Endeavor.
is his name
Endeavor.
like kind? Oh, I thought his name was Kind of Might
Endeavor.
instead of All Might.
Oh, back to back jokes from
his thing is that
Solid.
he's a hero, but he's always
Right.
striving to be number 1. But All Might's always the one in the way from keeping him from being number 1. So everybody's always praising him because they never fight together. They always fight separately, but he's always the second.
That's a
That
good call.
kind of
All right.
that sounds very parallel to like The Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Boys is very similar because whenever any of the other heroes get stuck in a jam somehow, they always have like their Superman. God, what is the their Superman hero?
Homelander.
we are on
Homelander.
fire
Homelander.
with
I know.
remembering names from
cannot
pop
get
culture
names right.
references. It's really
Don't-
good for a podcast.
Chocolate. Don't give me chocolate before a podcast.
Don't give
I'm not gonna remember
chocolate. It
anybody's
gets
name.
him Alzheimer's.
He's like-
okay.
Oh,
Good to know.
Mogwai. Excellent to know.
Yes, it's a Mogwai. Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh.
Good
But
reference.
yeah,
Poor
Homelander
Alex,
would
I'm sorry.
be the number
Okay.
1, and you have all the other ones
All right.
there with him. I guess that could be they could be considered secondary heroes.
I
Because
was
technically they're not
today.
it's not a psychic.
I was today years old when I found out that All Might and My Hero Academia are the same show.
Yeah.
All Might
no
is a
idea.
character
I had
in
no
My Hero
idea.
Academia.
I thought that was a show. All right. Noted. Almighty, then let's move on from that. Do you have any other references? Because that's a good reference point for what a secondary hero is. Somebody else who's vying for that power.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the idea is like when we formed our podcast, the idea is like imagine if all the Avengers were gone. Who do they call to? That's the secondary heroes, the ones who they don't care about until they actually need to, because the primary heroes are gone. It's different than a sidekick.
So it would be like that movie Kick-Ass. He would be a secondary hero in a way because his only power is that he doesn't feel pain, but he's still a vigilante like Batman.
So what you're saying is I should get Mark Millar on the show to talk to us about Kick-Ass. Noted. I like that because that's secondary hero. That is a great idea, actually.
All
They
right.
are secondary heroes. They really are.
That's what you
like
got
that.
from it. Then yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that was a good takeaway. I liked it.
All right. Anyways, but that's a good point. But who else then?
But a sidekick. But sidekicks, I mean, it's obvious. Is like Robin. Somebody that fights alongside the main hero. That's, I mean, just there to help him out. Not necessarily, get into all the recognition for it, but just being there to assist.
Right, not necessarily to save the day either. They're just there to be there to help out, assist.
Yeah.
Yeah, an assist.
A layup opportunity.
Like State Farm.
Like State Farm. I like it.
Oh. And so do we have a pick then for each one of our favorite or best, or who you'd want as your sidekick?
My side. Oh, man.
I know mine.
Well, then go ahead, Proc.
Yeah,
I was gonna
fire away.
I was going to say Chewbacca.
Oh, okay. Let me change mine then.
Could
You wanted me to go
think of
first.
one that's not on the list?
Okay, I'll try to think of one not on the list then.
Well, I'll pick Chewbacca. Okay.
Okay, fine. That was easy. Who is not on the list that would be a good sidekick? It doesn't even have to be a sidekick.
All day.
Yeah, it
just
really
something
does.
like a best friend kind of thing.
Huh. Well, not you guys. So who else would it be?
I want Little Sweet. Little Sweet coming in on a floor.
We're still in the sidekick realm. We're not just picking up random people now.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not?
No,
Okay.
I thought that was what we were doing. Someone that could be your best friend that hangs out with
Who's
you
the
and does
sidekick?
cool.
But who
Yeah,
is
he
up-
would be my sidekick.
Yeah,
Oh, but
I know.
okay. I see. I know. I see
All
you
right.
rolling your eyes. Easy. I got it. I'm on board now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick Iron Man to be my sidekick. Whatever we're playing.
Anybody-
Godzilla's my sidekick. Done.
Oh, in that case, I'm picking Thanos then. He's going to be my sidekick. I mean,
Yeah, we're just
everybody.
playing games now with
So-
sidekick.
I know.
Fun?
I know exactly who my sidekick would be. It'd be a Salacious B. Crumb because he would laugh at all my jokes and be great. And just carry him around with me.
Why don't you just carry around Jimmy Fallon? He'll laugh at everything.
Oh, no
Oh.
thanks.
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon, I thought it would be more like
Thanks.
James Corden or something like that.
They're all the same. They're all the same person.
Yeah.
But yeah,
like this.
yeah. Probably
I
Salacious
like
B. Crumb.
Salacious B. Crumb a lot.
Yeah, that's my choice. All my bad puns. He'll just laugh at them. It'd be great. All right, guys, your turn. Come on. Gotta pick somebody other than Chewie. Who's it gonna be?
I can't think of a sidekick
Who's it gonna be?
that I want to hang out with all the time.
And it kicks ass too. Has to, really help you out there in battle. We're in the end times. We're in the end times right now, dude. The world's gonna end soon, so you better pick somebody who's gonna fight for you.
I got it. I know what I want.
It's apocalypse now.
It's apocalypse. It's definitely not apocalypse now. I
And don't
want,
choose Michelle from Romeo and Michelle. So
I want Wade Garrett from the movie Roadhouse. He was
Okay.
Patrick Swayze's sidekick.
it's a good call. Fun
Sam
guy.
Elliott. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Sam Elliott. I could listen to that guy talk all day long. Best sidekick. That's who I've got. Roadhouse.
Never would have expected that. That's a great call, actually.
Wow.
All right.
I really
it.
like because that guy. He definitely kicks ass in that movie. So
Yeah. Perfect.
I'm on board.
All right.
Boom.
Now I got to figure out why I picked Salacious. We probably won't do anything for me.
He'll laugh at your jokes.
Okay, maybe
Make
that was
you
not a
feel
good idea.
Because honestly, you could just choose one of us. We laugh at your jokes.
I mean, I'm not a fighter either, so it doesn't really matter. I'd probably just, go down.
Michonne's a good pick. I thought you were going to mention Michonne earlier, but
Michonne's a good call.
That one's really good.
I was trying to pick one of the turtles, but
None of them are sidekicks. I was trying to think of which
Donatello's
one.
the most sidekick.
Yeah, and then Michelangelo.
Because Raphael's
then
kind of like
probably
the secondary
Raphael.
hero because he always wants to be the leader.
Right.
He always wants to take
Yeah.
Leonardo's spot.
Oh, that guy. I love that guy. Oh, well.
Yeah, we get into turtles talk a lot, don't we?
We
Turtles
like
are
them
awesome.
turtles.
Turtles
Yep, pretty much.
rule, man.
Go ninja,
Before
go
you said
ninja,
saving the
go.
world, I was going to pick Pluto because I wanted to find a dog. Like a dog pick sounded good in my mind. But if we wanted like someone to actually kick ass and save the world, I don't know if Pluto
Oh,
is
I'm
the
not
best
looking
choice.
to kick ass save the world. I mean, someone that would be cool to hang out with.
No, we're doing both. Come on, that's what makes
Yeah.
it tough.
Okay.
That's
Well,
what makes it
I'll
tough.
stick with Sam Elliott. That guy's awesome.
All right.
Okay.
I can
That's a good
save the
call.
world.
It is. I could probably say the word with Groot, maybe.
Oh, Andy would just be cute on your shoulder.
Right?
Yeah,
We
totally.
would actually probably be the same size when he's baby Groot, but yeah, I get your point.
I didn't want to go there. I thought it, but I didn't want to go there.
I thought it.
You took it away. You did it.
Oh,
Josh, did you already choose one?
Oh, I'm just gonna pick anybody. I am going to choose.
Yeah, look around your room.
I know,
That's what I've been doing. It helps a lot.
I mean, how many?
I have
sidekicks
two
do
that
I
I'm
have?
trying to decide between now.
I would choose.
Oh, man. Riveting stuff.
I'm thinking.
Because I don't know. I mean, like I said, Chewbacca is my favorite one, and I wasn't expecting anybody else to like that one right now.
We're expecting Star Wars fans to say
You know what? I'll go with. I'll go with.
People at home are going.
I would go with BD1 from. Jedi
BD1.
Fallen
Yeah, there
Order.
you go.
I like
It's a
BD1. Good call.
robot, but I mean, he's not really gonna, beat up anybody. He can at least
But-
hack into things for me.
Yeah, he's
That's,
small.
dude, that's helpful.
Yeah. You can get through the nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
You can change
Nooks
his colors.
Shout out to
Next
Animal
cranny.
Crossing.
And I don't
But,
know why,
What's
Trevor,
this?
but
What's Animal Crossing?
you mentioned a dog, and all of a sudden I thought of Spunky from Rocco's Modern Life. I don't know
Good
why,
sidekick.
and I'm like, that's a pretty fun sidekick. But Rocco had multiple sidekicks too. He had
Yeah,
Spunky.
Heifer's a sidekick.
He had Sheldon. Was it Sheldon? Yeah, it was Sheldon, right?
No,
And
Filbert.
then Heifer.
I'm too old. I have no idea.
Filbert.
Yep.
Filbert.
That's like
The
Chucky.
Bert-
Chucky is the sidekick to Tommy, and Chucky's one of the best sidekicks ever. He'll
I thought you were talking about
he'll
Chucky.
follow Tommy into nothing.
He'll whine about it the entire way through.
Yeah. He's kind of like a Millhouse to Bart.
You would think
No,
it was
he
the
is the
opposite
total
because
Millhouse.
Chucky's
Yeah.
older than Tommy, but yet this little
Yeah.
baby in diapers is telling this one, older toddler
Yeah,
what to do.
Chucky's like 2 and Tommy's like 1, but it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, but he's sitting there because he knows that he can get hurt. Tommy's like, oh, I'm still a baby. I haven't thought about stuff like that. Chucky's like, dude, that's gonna hurt or scare us or be dangerous.
Scare us.
Chucky's actually
That's usually what it is.
Babies!
Don't scare us.
Everything scare them. I can't believe we're sitting here talking about Rugrats right now.
Chucky Finster, man.
Oh,
Wow.
we went there.
Yeah,
We
man.
definitely.
So
What's
my
your-
sidekick choice, my dream sidekick, it's tough. I'm deciding between 2. We mentioned Ahsoka already. Ahsoka would be absolutely amazing. But I'm going to go with Genie.
Okay.
Ooh. That's a good
Like
one.
from I Dream a Genie. I
Oh
like
man.
Good call.
That works too.
That works too, man.
Dude, I watched
Actually,
every
there
episode
might
of that
be-
show.
There might be more benefits with the I Dream of Genie one. No, settle down. Settle down. Hey, folks at home, settle down.
Folks at home. Put a cork in it.
Oh man.
Oh, that was a good episode.
I feel
Excellent.
good
So,
about
everyone, tell us your favorite sidekick. If you could have a sidekick that you want to hang out with, plus help you save the world, who would it be? Hit us up on comments on whatever platform you do listen to or interact with us. And to everyone listening, we hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you next time.
Prog out.
See ya.
You know what? I had a clickbait of the week. I'm sorry. I know we're rolling eyes. I see your eyes rolling. I had one and I lost it, and I didn't even think about it till right now. Why do I do this? To not just myself, but to everybody else.
Mostly just me. I don't really care about anybody else.
Hot take.
Wow. Cool. Cool.
As dark
friend.
as you were last week, that was as selfish as you possibly could have been this week.
That was good, huh?
Okay, I got one. You ready? 10 secrets about being Ronald McDonald you never thought about. That is your clickbait of the week. I know. Hey,